allegiance, please.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right, you can have a seat. All right. Roll call, Ms. Connie.
Mayor Frazier,
Here.
Councilman Cook,
Here.
Councilman Bishop,
Here.
Councilwoman Fleming,
Here.
Councilman Coon,
Here.
Okay.
town clerk here,
I was here last night too.
town attorney,
Here. I started to be.
and consultant.
All right, yeah, item number 1 is additions, deletions, and changes, approval of agenda. Anybody have any deletion, changes, or approval? If we have approval, no changes, so we just need
You got
a,
something down?
no, I
No, okay.
have something the attorney asked. So we just need a motion to approve the agenda.
Make a motion to approve the agenda.
I second it.
Good. All in favor of approving the agenda, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, say nay. All right. Item number 2 is approval of minutes of October 25th, 2021. Let me remind everybody, we're on the planning and zoning meeting now, so make sure you don't get those mixed up. So we just need a
I make a
motion.
motion, we approve the minutes of October 25th, 2021 meeting.
Second?
I wasn't here, so I
You weren't there, okay.
Second.
Second, all right, so all in favor of approving the minutes for October 25th, 2021, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, say nay. All right, cool. Item number 3 will be public participation. Is this where we're doing, Jacob, or is that on the,
No,
that's on the, okay, regular, okay, gotcha. Any public participation for the planning and zoning? All right, we will close public participation at this time. We'll move to item number 4, which will be new business, the public hearing. Mr. Coberline, you want to read that, and then I'll open it up, I guess.
The recommendation of the Town of Fort White Planning and Zoning Board to the Town Council concerning an amendment to the text of the Town of Fort White Florida Land Development Code to amend section 3.04.01 titled Residential 2-4 to allow manufactured housing within the Residential 2 district pursuant to an application by the Town Council.
All right. All right, at this time, staff, do you have anything on that? Any recommendations or anything?
I believe that our consultant had a recommendation that we address in this resolution that he has written manufactured housing, and to change it to clarify that includes mobile homes.
Okay.
Okay, because manufactured housing is different, even though everybody calls it manufactured housing, mobile homes, it's really not. So
Gotcha.
I'm going to ask him to clarify that in this. And the other thing is to clarify that the mobile homes will have to meet the requirements for a permit that Columbia County issues.
Right, okay. All right, good deal. All right, is the applicant do we have an applicant here for this?
No, it's the council.
This is council member. No, it's supposed to. Okay, right, so, okay. All right, so, we'll open this up, guys. Anybody have anything on this?
I mean, it already says mobile home in here, but I agree with Ms. Connie on that, you know, with the county handling our building inspections, that they're gonna be the ones to, you know, give the okay that the mobile home is safe to set and things like that. That does need to be added.
Right.
I think that Mr. Williams was referring to the heading where it says to allow manufactured housing within the residential too.
Yes, ma'am. Okay, yep. I mean, I'm that. We can get that changed.
Say that again, you said to allow manufactured housing?
No, it says on there, on the heading that Fred read,
Uh-huh,
it says to allow manufactured housing
right, okay.
in residential 2 district. We need to clarify that that includes mobile homes.
Mobile homes, okay, which it does, so, okay.
I mean, it says it on item B1 on page 3,
See, I
but,
Right.
but, I mean, if Mr. Cooglin's advising us to do this, what we need to do.
All right, okay, cool. All right.
Simple and easy, we can do that.
All right, at this time, we'll open up for public. Any public comments on this? No public comments? Okay. All right, wish that would come back to us, which is the applicant. We can, any more discussion on this?
I'd like to say that, I guess it's a planning zoning meeting.
Yeah.
And we're the board now.
Yes, sir.
I don't agree with allowing manufactured home or mobile homes in the RSF2.
Yeah.
I think we just allow mobile homes in agricultural zoned areas, and I voted in favor of that, and I'm in agreement with that, but I think that that's probably needed. But in RSV2, F2, I think that would be a mistake. That we need to not have mobile homes in that zoning area. And you know, one thing we've said was like, well, a lot of this zoning is subdivisions, and they have restrictions that don't allow mobile homes in that. But we still, as a town council, need to have your zoning in place to allow what you want in certain areas. You don't depend on the private sector to disallow something, because wonder if something was found in the restrictions that was defective, or say the people in the subdivision had the right to vote that out, then you start having mobile homes in an area that maybe wasn't in agreement with the town council. So you need the zoning in place in areas where you want mobile homes or don't want mobile homes. And you don't depend on restrictions to do that. And you need to control your growth in your town like you want it. And you need smart growth. And if you want a mobile homes to allow an area that's zoned RSF2, then maybe you need to rezone that area, specific area, but not allow mobile homes in the whole area.
Right. Okay.
I thought pretty much that's what it was like, wasn't it? It was certain areas, like we've said, we wouldn't have it where there would be like
If
the
it's
subdivisions or whatever. It's like private owners or whatever had their properties or whatever. I don't think it was like, that's what we were saying. It wouldn't be in nothing but specific areas, not just the whole RSV area.
Well, if the town council changes the zoning in this ordinance to allow that, then the only thing that would stop it would be a private restrictions.
Deed restrictions in the community would restrict that.
Yeah,
Right.
but we're dependent on that community to do something that I think the town should control. We should say no mobile homes in
Code
in
enforcement
our-
will not enforce deed restrictions.
We can't enforce deed restrictions, so if the deed restrictions didn't hold, then we would have they would happen. We have to have our zoning in place to allow what we want, where we want it, and not depend on the private sector to do that, or private deed restrictions to do that. The town won't enforce deed restrictions. If something changes in that, then we're out of the loop. But if there's an area that we want mobile homes in a certain area that's not allowed, like we did in agriculture, we allowed it. But if we don't want mobile homes in RSF2, then we need to not allow them.
Wasn't it a case by case in the RSF2? Wasn't that the way this was being written
It's
up?
not in the verbiage, no. It's not in the verbiage.
So it's going to allow
I believe at one of
all.
the meetings that Councilman Bishop requested that mobile homes be allowed in RSF2.
Right. But we also talked about on a case per case.
Yes, we did.
And
Basis.
Attorney Coberline advised against doing special exception or
This is,
special use permit or whatever you want.
So this is opening all of RSF2 up, basically, if we vote, so it would basically open up all RSF2. Wow.
I mean, this is a P and Z meeting, correct?
Yes, yes.
Has Mr. Garrett been advised not to attend these, or is that?
He has cancer
He's
and
got,
he
he's
can't.
sick, I think
Okay.
he's sick, so.
Okay, and that's fine, I understand that, I mean, I totally understand that.
I can get him on the
Well, now-
phone.
I think we need to open this up to possibly a Zoom meeting, if that's possible.
I don't know what we can and can't do, but if you price building a house these days,
Yeah,
these young people can't do it who lives in Fort White.
well,
The only chance they got of having a home is a mobile home.
look,
The only
I mean,
chance in the world.
I'm looking at, I refer to this map a lot. I mean, you're talking, County Road 18 out there at the further, the westernmost subdivision. That's all agriculture. That's not even RSF2.
Right.
So if I bought a lot in there right now, legally I could put I mean, but who is gonna do that? I mean, I'm just, this is, I don't know.
If somebody wants to do a mobile home,
But Donald, what I'm getting at is the green zone is agriculture.
yeah.
And the top right subdivision there, which I can't remember, Thornwood, yes sir, thank you, Mr. Coon. That's all agriculture.
Yeah, but I'm sure they got deed
But they got,
restrictions
I'm
They
sure.
have deed restrictions.
for
Yeah.
that subdivision.
The county, I mean, when they go to apply for a building permit through the county, wouldn't that be where that's applied?
Well, they shouldn't issue a permit.
They wouldn't issue a permit if it's deed
I
restricted.
don't know
Right.
if the county would check on that.
Why would, that's their job. They issue all building
It's a
permits
private
for,
subdivision and it's deed restricted.
that's
So you
exactly
can't-
right. It's
you
been a
can't put one
recorded, it's
there
a
no matter
recorded
what the land-
subdivision in our county.
No matter what the land says.
It-
But unless the deed restrictions are filed, there's no record of them, and I wouldn't know that.
But we don't issue building permits.
Right.
We don't
But
issue
the-
move-on permits for mobile homes.
No,
As the city of
The
Fort
county
White,
does.
the county does, exactly. It's the county's duty to make sure that they're within their zoning laws.
they depend on me to write a letter of concurrency and compliance.
Okay.
And on that letter of compliance, I have to state what the zoning is, what the setbacks are, what's allowed.
So if it's in the city limits, it's up to you to send that to them
Yes.
or get that done?
Yeah, they don't do any legwork or anything like that. The only thing that they do is the permit and see if the permit meets their criteria for a permit.
So if you missed it and wrote a basically compliance letter to them, then they would issue a permit on it.
Yes,
Do you look at deed restriction, you just look at the town zoning?
I don't have the deed
So
restrictions.
see, the town or the county wouldn't catch that.
So who
The-
has
the
the deed
top-
restrictions?
I don't know.
Well,
Never been in that
Mr.
situation.
Cook?
let's clear up, Mr. Cook is correct, and Mr. Bishop's comment earlier is correct, and I think that they're talking about apples and oranges, but we're acting as if we're talking about the same thing. Mr. Cook is correct that the local government is not responsible for looking for deed restrictions, and we'll go into that further in just a moment. Mr. Cook is correct when he says that the county it's their job to make sure that there's compliance with zoning laws. Well, deed restriction is not a zoning law. The county will go to the website and look at its land development code, and the town will look at its land development code. Nowhere in there are you going to find that a subdivision or some other platted land has a deed restriction. You have to do a title search to go find that. So, both the gentlemen are correct. But the local government is not to be relied on to determine whether or not there are private deed restrictions. For example, if the subdivider, Fred, comes in, buys 100 acres and divides it up, puts a homeowners association in there, which includes deed restrictions, it's not the county growth management department or the town's administrator, growth management administrator, to go looking at that subdivision's HOAs, regulations, as well as deed restrictions. That's where things get lost on the deed restrictions. Because they're in a title search, they're somewhere in the public records, not in the zoning land development code.
So we have to zone things like we want the town to be developed.
That's
Or
a
we
correct
can't
statement.
depend on the private sector to do that for us.
I understand that. So all that eastern side of town over there that, I mean, I don't know what that big tract of orange land is there, but you mean to tell me if I own that
Here?
big old, yes, sir, if I own that big old tract of land right there and it's RSF two, I can't put a mobile home on that?
No,
Okay.
not by the current zoning.
Current zoning, exactly. So, okay. That's all I'm asking.
Mr. Mayor, if I may,
Yes, Mr.
I
Williams.
think part of the confusion here is we are trying to adopt a resolution, or you're trying to adopt a resolution, which does not properly carry out the previous request of the council. What the motion was at the prior meeting was for the town to adopt a new element to its land development regulations entitled Residential Single Family Mobile Home 2. Not to simply make the residential single family category a permissible use for a mobile home. Now, the reason for that is exactly what Mr. Cook said. If you do that, then as a matter of right, as long as a mobile home met the requirements of the county, you would be able to put a mobile home in any place inside the residential single-family area. That was not what I heard the council approve when they made the motion. What you asked to do was on a case-by-case basis, be able to consider whether a mobile home was an appropriate alternative housing. And the exact example given is you've got people within that area now that live in a mobile home. What if they wanted to replace it with a mobile home?
Right.
So right now, they cannot do that.
We got 6 months to replace it.
6 months.
Well,
Yeah.
Right, 6 months if you
They
have
did.
one on there.
After the 6 month period, you're right.
Right,
It's
right.
grandfather, they wouldn't be able to replace it. Under the scenario that I just described, if somebody come forward and said, I would like to rezone this particular piece of property, they'd have to do a rezoning from residential single family to residential single family mobile home 2, then you would have the chance to consider that on a case-by-case basis. Or if you chose one day to amend your future land use map, and designate an area where it could be either mobile homes or site-built homes, you would be able to do that. But the intent was never to just as a matter of right.
Well, that's why I just
allow a
said what I
mobile
said
home
earlier.
to
I
be
thought that was
placed.
supposed to be a case by
And it's
case.
not in
And I
there.
think that's what the concern was, and why we have a difference of opinion as to the discussion here, of what was said and not said.
So,
So,
do,
We was gonna change the zoning,
yeah, if I owned a lot
That's
inside
right,
the town
that's right.
of Fort White, and I wanted to put a mobile home in, I would have to come forward, apply, stand in front, allow neighbors to be able to come forward, discuss why I wanted to do that, why I thought that was everybody's best interest, all that, and it would have to be approved.
specifically, Mr. Williams, if you own a piece of RSF2 property and you wanna put a mobile home on it, you have to apply for the RSF2 MH.
I'm just simply saying to do what I understood. that you
right,
wanted
that's what
to
we're
do.
talking about.
Yes, sir.
You,
That's,
you would not do that through an RSF2 zoning. That's stick-built home.
right, but we
But
would,
if you had a zoning category called residential single-family mobile home 2, which allows either a mobile home or a house on a
Yeah,
half acre of land,
okay.
you could do that. But it wouldn't be a matter of right. You would have to actually apply unless you pre-zone some land.
It's all about how it's worded, ain't it?
It's all about the
There
word.
you go. So, we need to change the.
So we need direction, I guess, Mr. Coberline? Would that be correct terminology, I guess? I mean,
P&Z needs to give the planner direction, and if the direction is what Mr. Williams just stated, then you've got another voice there, that Mr. Williams can talk to Mr. Garrett.
yeah.
I'll remind you, this is a great reason why you would want to record your meetings.
Easiest, simple way to do it is you can pull an RSF MH2 zoning category from just about any planning document from any municipality or county. Go through it, edit anything you don't like, let that be the boilerplate, let Lowell finish it, shouldn't take any time at all to do.
All right,
Okay.
council, y'all, okay, with that?
Is that what you was looking for?
Councilman Cook, that would
Mr.
address
Cook?
your concern.
Yeah,
Is that more
I
what you
don't
was
want,
looking
I don't
for?
want a blanket of this RS two to allow mobile
understand
homes
that.
everywhere.
But
I agree.
you are right, if all you do is allow mobile homes in RSF two category,
That's right.
that's what happens. But that was not the motion that was made.
Gotcha. No, yeah, I remember.
No.
Yeah, I thought there was supposed to be a clause in there,
about
so in
verbiage.
case, yeah, so.
I mean, so yeah,
All right.
I totally agree. Now that it's been explained to me, so, I mean, we just need to change our verbiage and go from there.
Okay. So direction, do you have that, Ms. Connie?
I do.
Okay, so we can get with Lowell and move
Yes.
that, okay, all right, good deal. All right, awesome. All right, we'll move.
Now,
With-
I guess,
go ahead.
there's one question I got, once you start looking at a case-by-case scenario, if that's the way we choose to go, not that we have yet, but if we do, can you get in trouble with precedents, or you say you approve this person but not this person? I guess you gotta be careful, have a legal reason why you approve or disapprove a certain piece of land to put a mobile home on, and this person gets turned down.
You're absolutely correct. It's, I think when you start looking at case-by-case situations, especially when it comes to mobile homes, which there's not gonna be any decrease in the future of mobile homes, people wanting to buy them, as Mr. Kuhn alluded to. You open up the town to a lot of risk when you're doing things on a case-by-case basis. On the other hand, when you start trying to, kill a mosquito with a shovel and take a broad approach with a shovel head, it's not the best case either. You have to find a happy medium somewhere.
Yeah, one question I got, is there a specific area that we might want to rezone that allows mobile homes or homes? Is there, or not all of this RSF two, but is there a specific area that we want to rezone?
Mr. Cook, I mean,
Where is there a spot in
I
town?
mean, looking at our zoning board, we got downtown district, commercial, RSF2, and agriculture.
You know,
And industrial, I'm sorry.
and the downtown is out off the
I said that from the beginning. I mean, I'm fine, if there's a mobile home there now, they can replace it, but
Yeah.
but we would not, I was willing, I mean, to,
Oh, yeah, everybody was good with that. In
Yeah.
fact, I own a mobile home in downtown, but I know the restrictions of that. But we've opened up all the green to mobile homes. And now all that's left is RSF2. We gotta look at either case by case or not change it, or either, is there one area, one specific area that we maybe want to rezone?
what area?
Besides all of it, I don't know.
I mean, exactly, I mean,
But the thing is if you have a designation as a tool available to you, you can always make that decision. The question you asked, I'm not an attorney, so I can only answer that from the administrative aspect of it. I totally agree. I think that anytime you make a case-by-case decision, you have enhanced liability. You have it now.
Yeah, we already have it now.
I mean, I've seen this board in the short time I've been here grant commercial where they didn't grant it to another guy, and vice versa. Right? I think what's key though is you can't, that's the reason I said earlier, I think the standards that you apply are paramount. Somebody shows up and they're in an area that is already predominantly mobile home, even though they're non-conforming. You know, you don't have any objection from the neighbors about somebody putting a new mobile home in, those kinds of things, I think you reduce that risk. Now, you start putting them in the middle of single-family residential because, you know, Dale applied and you're just trying to help me, I think that's where your problems come. So I think you've got to have good findings when you make these decisions, but you should want to have good findings.
I agree with that.
So with public meetings and giving the people their choice to voice their concern, I mean, I don't think there would be a problem with that. I mean, you know, if you go trying to southwest corner of the town there and trying to put a mobile home in a subdivision, you're probably gonna have a room full of people, more than likely. I mean, because we're gonna have to post it. So, I mean, it's like anything else. I mean, as long as we take the right steps to do what we need to do, then I'd like to get the issue resolved. I mean, I'm just trying to go about it the best way. That's all I'm trying to do.
You know, I have seen P&Z documents that go so far as to say that even though they don't allow mobile homes within those districts, if in the opinion of the zoning administrator, there's good reason to permit them and et cetera, they do it. So that's just a fancy way to get around. You're much more stringent than that if you do this.
Yeah, I wouldn't want to be that open.
No, I agree with the counselor about special permits and special exceptions. You don't want to do that. I mean, this keeps it all above board. It allows the public the opportunity to speak. You have the opportunity to do an impact study. How's it going to affect that neighborhood? How's it going to affect values, et cetera, before you make a decision. It's not the best, cleanest way, but it's the best option that the town of Fort White has to address your problem, from all that I've heard.
Economically. I mean, we don't live in Alachua County, we don't live in Gainesville, and Councilman Coombs said, 25-year-old kid can't buy a $300,000 house in Fort White. So, I mean, we can do what we need to do, but I think we need to make a decision.
But right now, you don't even have the tool to do that.
Well, that's right.
That's right. Exactly, yes, sir.
So, Ms. Connie, you got that with the roll and,
Yes.
okay.
Mayor?
Yeah, yes, sir.
It's an application, we need to take some action based on what I've heard.
Table.
A motion to postpone it to a future meeting with
Okay.
recommendations heard tonight, and then the clerk can bring it back at a future meeting if you choose.
Okay.
So
Just need
motion to postpone with recommendations.
Y'all hear that?
Yeah.
So motion to postpone with recommendations that basically.
I'll
that we
make a
give.
motion to postpone with the recommendations that we give to the clerk.
Second.
Second? All right, so all in favor of postponing, public hearing, allowing RSF2 zoning to, future with recommendations given to the town clerk, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, say nay. All right, so we'll open up move to item number 4B, public hearing, application of comprehensive plan amendment. Mr. Coberline?
Next application, the planner has proposed adding a private property rights element to the comprehensive plan that is now required by state law. So you're going through the process now where the P&Z really don't have a choice without some type of consequence from the state of Florida. So it's recommended that you approve the application to go to the city, to the town council, so that you add a private property rights element to the comp plan.
Okay. All right, at the time we'll open up for public hearing. Will, Ms. Connie, you have anything on this? Any?
Just what's in the packet.
Okay.
I believe this was presented to us last meeting, wasn't it?
I will say that,
We talked
Lowell
about,
informed me that we cannot do any more amendments until we pass this property
right,
rights.
okay. So, yeah.
I'll make a motion to approve the applicant, or, no, you gotta do public hearing still?
Yeah, so let me, staff, well, we can discuss, if y'all have any more discussion on whether.
I mean, yeah, I mean,
Okay.
it's a have to, I mean, we can't do anything.
No. All right, anybody from the public have anything on this? No, okay, all right, so it goes back to us at this time, so no more discussion on it, so, I mean,
I'll make a motion to approve the application for the comprehensive plan amendment to add a private rights amendment, or private property rights.
property, yep.
I second it.
Second, good. All in favor of the application of comprehensive plan amendment, say aye. All opposed, say nay. All right, good deal. All right, is that all, Mr. Copeland, you have?
That's all
Is that
that's on
cool?
the
All
agenda.
right. So item number 5 will be adjournment, guys, so I just need a motion to adjourn.
I'll make a motion to adjourn.
Second.
Second.
All in favor, say aye. All opposed, say nay. All right, that was the planning and zoning meeting, so we'll move to our town hall meeting. Ms. Connie, can you come here? I have a quick question for you. On the petition relation, do we want to walk Cody in there about that, what we're doing with him? Or no? No?
I wouldn't.
Okay. I can bring it up if I need to. So.
Yeah, no, I
We're
don't think
moving
it's
forward with it,
necessary.
though, right? So
I don't think it's necessary because we found a resolution.
okay, all right, cool. That's cool, good. All right. We've just said the pledge of allegiance, so I guess, start with a call to order, Ms. Connie.
Roll call.
I mean, roll, yeah. I'm
Mayor
sorry.
Frazier.
Roll call order, roll call.
Councilman-
Here.
Councilman Cook,
Here.
Councilman Bishop,
Here.
Councilwoman Fleming,
Here.
Councilman Coon,
Here.
Town Clerk here, Town Attorney,
Here.
Consultant.
Item number 1 be addition, deletions, changes, and approval of agenda. Need a motion if anybody has any changes, just approval. Just a
I just
motion.
want to add one item, which will be under item 4, number 2F.
F, okay. Okay,
That is to go over that report that's laying there in front of you, that was not included in the packet.
the employee report. Okay. Cool. All right, I just need a motion to approve the agenda with adding,
I make a motion to approve the agenda with the added, addition of 2F reports, employees report.
second.
Say.
All in favor of approving the agenda with the changes, say aye. All opposed, say nay. All right. Item number 2 would be approval of minutes of November 22nd, 2021 meeting. I went over it, looks good.
Yeah. Approve the minutes from the meeting from November 22, 2021.
Second.
Second, good. All in favor of approving the minutes for 2022-21, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, say nay. All right, item number 3 will be public participation. At this time, we'll open up for public participation, so if anybody would like to speak, we have 2 minutes, so.
Just wanted to give the council an update on the Fort White Waterloo project over here off of Sky. The section between Sky, I can't remember the name of the road, but on the other side of the ball field,
Yeah.
that section is in. We have not done a final walkthrough, and he has not done his bacteriological samples or anything, so that's not online, but it's in. There was also a section on Sky that was going to be connected to Jordan. That was a part of the project. The county and the contractor have determined that there was a line that was already there.
Oh, wow.
And so, in lieu of that, originally part of the project, we had 2 fire hydrants. We are now suggesting doing a change order for that section of the line to add the 2 hydrants, plus maybe a possible 2 if the contractor can fit it in the budget to be replaced. That was in the FRWA audit of the system.
Awesome. And that's on the Sky, adding the fire extinguisher, or the,
I think one would be right here at 47,
okay.
27, and then.
There are 2 failed and there are
And
2
2
that are in poor condition.
Okay, so they're just changing them, they're changing them out, and then what they're doing. Okay, good deal. Awesome.
Yeah, so we'll have hopefully all 4 will fit within the money that's left.
Gotcha.
And, be able to get that done.
How we look on that sidewalk? The sidewalk that's coming we talked about it recently.
Yeah,
One that's been approved
that-
for 4 years, one that's, I think it comes from here and it goes down Wilson
Yeah,
Springs.
I know which one you're talking about. I haven't, I didn't work on that one, but I can see if there's an update on it.
I thought the other day they said that we should
Well,
start seeing the workers in the
Yeah,
area.
Wilson Springs, you mean, that one?
Yeah,
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 that's not the one I was reviewing.
yeah, the one, because I could've swore, I thought,
Yeah,
Miss
the
Williams told us that
DOT
we should,
approved-
yeah,
The DOT approved it and sent us an agreement
yeah.
that we
So-
approved at the last meeting.
Yes. So I know it's coming. They said we should see the workers in the area at any time. And I seen some people out surveying and stuff here this week. I don't know what they were.
Probably laying it out.
Was that what? Okay. So I don't know what that was. Well, they were all over that way though. I don't know what they were doing. They were down 27 right
What
now.
was Spring Road?
Yeah. So I don't know what they were doing. So,
I don't know what they're doing there.
DOT, I guess.
I think Buster or Brian a while back had called me and mentioned that there was a project that's gonna be down 27, but it was FDOT.
okay,
It was
maybe it
FDOT,
was.
project, and I think it was.
I just seen them surveying. I
Since
don't know what
it
they
was
were
on-
doing.
I think it was on, is that 27?
Yeah.
So I think it was down there, since it's it was DOT.
Was it down there too?
Designed and led project, it wasn't
Okay.
anything, so.
Miss Fleming said she seen them on that side of town too surveying. So I don't know what they were
They've
doing.
been up and down 27.
27.
Yeah, I don't know what
Yeah,
they were
they've been
doing.
all the way from the bridge, all the way to the bridge.
Really.
Yeah, you see all the markers and stuff. I
They
think
coming in
the
and putting a new
DOT
road in or something, I don't know. So.
Like 4 lane this joker boy.
Fort White growing.
I thought there was supposed to be resurfaced in 47. I think that was in the works at some point.
DOT 's been all over
interstate,
27.
from interstate down to Fort White.
Okay.
I'm not sure if that's still a thing.
We'll see then, so I didn't know if you knew what was going on, so cool. All right, well, thank you for your update, Jacob. Yes, sir. All right, anybody else for public participation?
Yeah, I'd like to speak. if you
Yes,
don't
sir.
mind.
Yes, sir.
I'm Cody Bars, most of you know me, some of you don't. Local business owner and small developer here in town. Been back and forth up here a few times about getting a piece of property owned in town rezoned. Looking to see what we can do as far as an appeal of the judgment of basically the town laws of what, trying to get this rezoned to RSF4. We're not asking to do anything more than what we've done with this lot here and the lot on the 2nd Street. We've got the same acreage as both of those, so just looking to see how we can proceed forward with this.
All right, good deal. I think we already got this straightened out though, don't we? So,
We
yeah,
did.
we should
did.
have it, everything moving forward, so yeah. So, pretty sure, so yeah.
I thought you were gonna tell me.
I didn't get a chance to go back by there, so, but yeah. So, we're working on it. We're working on it, so yeah. Yeah, we think we've got it all worked out.
Just so you know, that's gonna, be an amendment to the land development code to, allow, see, what the problem is RSF4 zoning requires central utilities to be hooked up to central utilities. Well, we don't have central utilities there.
Except for
So-
water.
What?
Except for the water. We had to
Right,
have water,
except for
right?
water. So he, Mr. Bars has gotten a verbal commitment from Environmental Health Department that he meets the criteria to get the permits necessary for the septic tanks. So because Environmental Health is on board and has approved that, Lowell, our planner, had a discussion with him, and he's gonna go in and change the land development code to that effect.
Right, which would have come back before us here.
Yes,
So
it will.
you'll be seeing it.
So basically, if sewer is not available and the state Department of Health says that he's in compliance with, say, because obviously.
It wouldn't be state, it'd be actually your county, because your state guidelines, that's what our thing's written off of now, is what the state.
Septic tanks are regulated by the state.
Well, is it state?
It's
Yeah.
state of Florida, Department of Health.
Well, Department of Health,
Talking to the
but they're
man
got,
that's been
yeah,
there.
I know.
I'm a
Well,
licensed
the
master septic contractor,
what I'm
so
saying
I might
is
know
that-
what I'm talking about.
Well, I'm saying the guidelines that he's under right now, per our land development book, is telling him that he needs so much
Right.
runoff, which is crazy.
Right,
So
exactly.
he's meeting the guidelines of, I guess,
Of
the
the
state.
state, exactly.
So we're saying just back those guidelines back
Yeah.
down to what the state requires, instead
There
of,
we go.
yes,
That's-
yes. So
Since we
Simple
don't have
fix.
sewer.
be sensible, you know, I mean,
Yeah,
it's just,
if we don't offer sewer,
Yeah,
Right.
it'll just, it'll just take time, and there's going to be a provision added that when sewer does become available, that they'll
They will
have to
hook
connect.
to it, so yeah, they will. hook to
That,
it,
that's
so.
the bridge we'll cross when we get there, because our incentive is gonna be to say, Mr. Bars, would you like to hook to our sewer system for free now and just pay your bill? I mean,
Yes.
that's usually the way that works with the municipalities.
Right.
Just,
Exactly.
I mean,
Which Mr. Barton agreed to go ahead and hook to the sewer system.
there you go, even better.
Yeah, so
I
we're
mean,
good.
even
So-
better,
So we're good. I think we got it figured out. Once,
Yep.
it'll be becoming
I've
before y'all
already
before
had a
long, so.
discussion with Lowell Garrett and
As long as y'all like it and stuff, once it gets
Yeah.
here, so.
As far as inside, like, if I was to purchase or another 1 acre lot become available on the RSF2, would I have to rezone that 1 acre, being that I've done, but basically these are, which this one's in downtown district, the other's in RSF2. So that one, would it have to be changed to RSF4? So if I done it in
if
the.
you're
Yes.
gonna put 2 buildings on it.
Yes.
So basically, if a 1 acre lot or whatever becomes available, that would be the moving forward process, is each time to do 2 duplexes, I would need to rezone RSF4.
If
Okay.
you put more than, you put more than two
And then if
duplexes
you can
per.
get the environmental permit from Environmental Health Department for the septic tanks,
Absolutely,
then
and we're approving.
it wouldn't be main sewer required.
Okay.
You know, because we discussed a package plan
Yeah.
for yours, but then we went this other route.
All right, good deal. Any more public participation? Okay, we will close public participation. We'll move to item number 4, new business. We have a public hearing on a first reading for ordinance 2021-2013. Mr. Copeland.
An ordinance of the Town Council of the Town of Fort White, Florida, establishing a policy and procedure to cease further collection procedures and activities and to expense amounts outstanding on uncollectible accounts, write off said accounts, and classify the same as bad debt, providing for severability, providing for repeal of ordinances in conflict, providing for an effective date.
This ordinance was originally approved by the town council
I was
at
fixing to
the
say, I thought-
October 21st, 2019 meeting,
Yeah.
but it was not advertised properly.
Yeah.
So that's why we have to redo it.
Okay, 'cause I was gonna say, we done all this,
The
I
verbiage
thought.
in it is all the same.
Right, no, that's
Okay.
what I understand.
All right, so we just, we will open this up. Is this just a normal public hearing? Mr. Copeland, or do we have to do the?
It's a legislative public hearing where you simply open it up, you don't have to go back.
Okay, so this time we'll just do open it up for public hearing, so anybody in the public have anything to speak on? All right, we will close public hearing and go back to us. Y'all can we already approved it one time, so we just need a motion to approve the first reading, ordinance 2021.
I'll make a motion to approve the first reading of ordinance 2021-213.
Second.
Good. Any more discussion? All right, so all in favor of first reading, of approving first reading ordinance 2021-213, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, say nay.
And just so you know, basically, we've been following the items that are in this ordinance.
Okay, cool. Good deal. Awesome. All right, number 2, Ms. Connie.
Yes. Last week I had a visitor come by, and he gave me this, and I just want to read it to you. It's involving this painting, and it says, "To the city of Fort White, Florida, my name is William Moreland Sykes of the Sykes family, and in particular my late father, Fred Cone Sykes, 1911 through 1984, who along with his brothers and sisters grew up in Fort White. As the story goes, all the young Sykes family walked past this train station almost every day of their life. On their behalf, I wish to donate this painting of the Fort White train station to the city of Fort White."
That's nice. Very nice. That's why I remember it.
I can remember that.
This has been around, he told me, for at least 60 years. His sister had it up north, And when she passed, I guess she got it when his dad passed. And so, when she passed, he wanted this painting and he brought it in to donate it.
That's awesome. So,
With the council's permission, I would recommend that we send him a thank you letter
yes,
signed by the commission.
please,
Absolutely.
yes, definitely. You know the Sykes family?
I believe that, maybe.
Big yellow house right there.
Unfortunately, it's not,
My grandmother's old
I
house.
thought it was
right
Hurlong's. I thought it was Hurlong's. The yellow house?
there. The Sykes house right there, that two-story house.
Yeah,
Sykes.
okay.
They the one built, they the one that it's known for. My grandma and them lived in it. After they moved out.
unfortunately, it's not signed by an artist or dated or anything like that, so.
Gotcha.
Pretty sure this one right here is too.
Yeah, I don't know, that one there, that's an old picture though, you can tell.
Oh,
I just
yeah.
don't know who, I don't know who painted it, nobody knows who painted it though. They did a good job, whoever painted it. All right, B, it's kind of,
Fort White Cemetery issues, we have that tabled from a meeting because Mr. Kuhn was not here, and we moved it to this meeting. It's just to address the issues that we have encountered with the access to the Fort White Cemetery.
because currently we've opened it up for holidays. And I know. that was
What
a
exactly
request.
happened that we got the complaint to start with?
We got the complaints that people were driving on certain graves. That was the initial complaint.
Was that from Ms. Gibo? Or are you able to tell us? Or?
Yeah, I can tell you, no, it
Miss
was
Brown?
No, I spoke with Ms. Brown. They
Oh,
were
you did?
complaining they could not get in. That was their complaint.
she also complained about the graves, people driving on
She
the
did.
graves.
There's no way they can get on his grave.
I
They have
spoke
stuff
with
that-
them in their home.
Because Ronnie
I'm
talked to
just
her as
saying-
well.
Yeah.
She told me that. She told me that they were, yeah.
They stuff at the foot of that grave.
Huh.
Ain't no way nobody drive on it without running over the bench.
Right.
Now, I don't know then, but now,
Right.
and he's in the new part.
Yes, he's in the very new part, yes, yes.
Now, the graves they were driving over, can we put something there to keep that from happening? I'd like to.
Is it on a corner
Is it on
or
a
is it?
corner?
I mean, does anybody know if it happened more than once?
Yes,
It did happen more than once.
yes.
Maybe we could put a pole up there to keep people from cutting the corner, 'cause if it's.
I
on
don't
the-
know if it was on the corner or not.
But I'd like
I
to
just
see
don't
the-
know.
Ms. Connie, was it new part or old part?
I believe it was the old part.
The old part.
I'd like to see us work to some direction to open the gates all the time.
Yes.
And, cause we're opening them now just because of the holidays, but that won't be the problem. I had a person even call me about a week ago about it, and I said, we're working on that.
Can we, put limitations that is not lock the gate, but put signs up saying it's closed at night? Cause that's when most of you, and put signs up saying keep the gate closed, because somebody's gonna go in there and mess up, they ain't gonna get out and open that gate and drive in there,
Right.
in my opinion. I mean, there's things we can do besides lock them gates. There's a lot of old people in this town that's got kinfolk buried. And if you walk in that little gate, you walk across roots from trees that's grown up right there by the single gate. I mean, it's dangerous, and handicapped people can't get in there.
Well, but a lot of times they can drive the car in and get out.
No, I'm saying right now with them locked,
Yeah,
there's no way.
we need to work towards unlocking it. I'd like to work out some.
Well, they're unlocked right now.
My take is Forest Lawn Cemetery is one of the largest in Columbia County, land-wise. There's no fence.
I agree.
I mean, there's no fence.
No, that's up there by the high school.
Right by the, right by the funeral home there, yeah. So, I mean, there's no fence there, so I don't,
I don't want them locked. I can tell you, if we can do anything to keep them from being locked,
that,
I've got,
signage,
I've got
I mean, let's,
probably
signage and
30 kinfolk in that cemetery.
And
see if maybe the sheriff's department during a football game or any activity, because it seems like it's coming from school activity, people riding side by sides, is from what I'm hearing. That's what I'm hearing is side by sides.
Okay.
I mean,
And
with that side gate being closed like it is,
they can't nobody come off that dirt road in there. So that's all right with me. Them other two gates has always been open.
You talking the one that's on the
One
loop
closest to the
road?
football field.
Yeah.
You got that
Two.
tree across
Yeah,
it.
two.
And that one don't matter to me. I mean, you got, I mean, even if we gotta put something up, there used to be post up, and there was a rope or either a chain, I think, run through it to keep people on the driveway.
On the roads. And I
Over
even
the years,
mentioned,
it's got broken down and.
well, Mr. Coon, I mentioned during the last meeting that in the new part of the cemetery, that if there was no one at this time buried in that, say, quadrant, then there's no need for any protection. It's vacant land. But if there is one person buried in a quadrant, then we simply put up some rope or chain or something. I mean, it's already got corner post up in the new part. Now, I don't go to the old part. I don't have any family members there. But I do know for a fact that the new part is quadranted off with corner post. So all we'd have to do is buy some chain, rope, something to that effect. I mean, that'd be a very simple fix. And
I
leave the
mean,
gates
if it keeps on, I've got a bunch of concrete posts that we took up from these guard railings that's got a single hole in it. I'll donate them.
There you go.
And we can run something through it, just to make the drive, you know.
Yep.
But that'll be the main expense, something put in the ground, and I've got them. I'll donate them to the city.
What is it?
It's 6x6 concrete posts, they weigh about 250 pounds apiece.
Gotcha.
So if a car backs into it, they'll feel it before they get on somebody's grave site.
Gotcha.
I mean, if it comes down to that, there's something to keep it unlocked.
Gotcha.
But I think we ought to put a couple signs up saying that it's closed at dark from this time to this time. So if the law goes by and see somebody in there, they have no reason to be in there at night.
Right.
Yep.
And try that.
I think there was a sign up at one time that said.
There is a couple signs there that says a couple things.
Yeah, I can't
There's even an old sign there that says keep gate closed. But,
There is, yep.
and I think you could get city employees right by there if that's what it takes. Every time they see them open, close them. But
So a
don't
couple
block them.
signs, maybe some signs saying close
Sign
the
in
dark,
front of county.
and then we'll try it and see if that'll work, see if that'll
So
work.
do you want the sign to say that it closes at dark?
I'm gonna say it's cemetery closed, well,
They-
it's
they
dark
like
there
those.
anyway.
They
Middle of the dark or
I
whatever.
mean, just like the state parks.
Unless you're a vampire or something, you don't wanna be in there in
Yeah,
dark.
exactly. I mean, I don't know who hangs
It's
up
dark.
cemeteries
I
after
mean,
dark.
that place ain't got no lights at all.
Well,
It's
try
dark.
to keep the traffic out there, but I don't think we need to block it.
So, yeah, I mean,
Well, I heard the same thing that Councilman Bishop brought up, in addition to people parking on the graves. They were complaining that the worst times were when there were activities at the high school.
Yes.
that's.
And I might even suggest that we close it from football game nights, close the cemetery up, you know what I'm saying? I mean, lock it down for cemetery, and then we'll open back up on Monday or Sunday or Saturday after the football game's over with or something, so. I mean, that could be, and that could be,
Let's just see if we have trouble.
Yeah.
My
people park all up and down that road
They
in
do.
football.
But that gate, the light side's gonna stay closed. So
Yes,
they've got to come around
yes.
the other side to enter the cemetery.
That's true, that's when that gate was open on that
Yeah.
side, so I say mandatory, shut that one down.
Close the northwest
The
gate
one
down.
by this,
Yeah.
or going to the middle
It's closed
school.
anyway, I mean, there's
Yeah.
a tree across it.
Just, there you go, just leave it that
Leave the tree
way.
across it and then open the other two gates up, so.
And let's try it and see. Maybe get some signs that
Get
say
some
it's
signs.
closed at night.
Well,
Alright.
do you want the signs, or do you want to try it
Yeah.
first?
You wanna do the sign?
I mean, I'm sure we could get a hold of the county and get 3 or 4 signs that say, cemetery hours, daylight to dusk.
Let's see what's there. Go from there.
Let's see what's there. Let's see what's on let's see how it try to write by there too. Ms.
Leaving
Connie,
that
see,
one
I don't
gate
know what
closed.
signs is there right now, so
I looked
need
at
to
it the
look,
other day,
so-
but I didn't really pay that close attention.
I need to go look and see what is there, so I'll
And I would like to know whose grave got run over, so I can go out and see where it's at. I mean, I don't know who it was.
Yeah, I don't know, I don't remember either.
How we can protect it.
I mean, it's almost got to be on the corner. I've rode through there several times lately trying to figure out what's
When
going
I
on.
spoke with Miss Brown, she mentioned Miss Debo. I mean, I don't know whether it was her.
The young man,
The young man. that
okay,
just
his
got-
is over there by Davis too.
Yeah,
His is closer to the school than Davis is.
right.
So they're both in the new parts. I don't know why somebody would be riding in there.
Well, because it's so vast and open, to be honest with you, I think at night,
They
Yeah.
probably didn't realize what they were doing, and once they realized, they were probably like, and
Right.
as a parent, if I seen that on my child's
I
grave,
would
I'd
be
be
upset,
livid,
but I wouldn't expect you like cemetery.
but I mean, you know, it's one of those things we could quadrant it off and easily be.
That's right.
Yep.
There's stuff we can do, what I'm saying.
So we're gonna open it up to two gates, shut the one gate, and we'll talk about some signs.
That's right.
We'll see what kind of signs there.
Yes.
Cool. You good with that? Okay, cool. All right, good. Miss Connie C, survey quotes for town legal description.
As part of the ad valorem tax process for the garbage collection, the attorney's office in Tallahassee that's doing that for us, Neighbors in Gillen, they have requested, well, they've said that we have to have a legal description of the town, and we do not. So I got 2 quotes for
Oh, boy.
doing that for us. We have to have a legal description so that they can put it in the ordinance. Okay, so.
There's never been a legal description of the town done?
Well, there has been, but it's been outdated for quite some time.
Yeah,
Years and years.
you know, with property being annexed in and things like that, then,
Okay.
It's not accurate, because it's
Yeah.
not up to date.
yeah, I got 2 quotes. One was from North Florida Professional Services, to the tune of $36,500. And Brit Surveying
knew it was gonna be
is
high.
$850.
That's hard to fit.
Yeah.
Are you serious?
Jay,
Yes.
Serious.
Jay,
Wow.
Jay, you got to stand up and
It's
talk
in your
about it.
packet.
What's the,
The email's in your packet for the 36.5.
I didn't see that. That's unreal.
who said,
Obviously, they don't want to do it.
who said that?
Tell Greg he's not working real hard on getting our
Nathaniel
business.
Thomas.
And correct me if I'm wrong,
He's gone.
He's gonna go.
Yeah, he's
He's
gonna
gone?
go.
Well, maybe we
I
know
don't
why.
think there's no deciding on this.
You better talk to Greg like fast, cause
that's probably just in writing a legal description, that's not actually marking the corner, you don't need a mark, it's
No.
just to put it in writing.
Writing a legal description, that is correct. And due to the fact that we are under a time crunch with accomplishing this, I took the liberty of telling Scott Britt to go ahead with the
Okay.
$850
That's fine.
legal description, so that we.
well, we're
can
trying to
get
push
this
to
done
get it on this, so I get
for
it,
next
so,
year,
yeah.
for the
Yes,
2022.
So-
I'm in agreement with that.
So do we need a motion or something? Do we need a motion?
Yeah.
I believe that's within our purchasing policy.
He's already set it in motion, so.
Yeah.
Definitely 850 better than 36 G.
Jesus Christ.
I couldn't believe my eyes when I got the email, I had to check, make sure my glasses
He
were
must
working.
have thought he was surveying it all.
Yeah, something.
What do you thought? Thought he was doing Lake City.
Good gracious. All right, D, Miss Connie.
A couple of times in the year and a half that I've been here, providing health insurance for the employees have come up. I've received a couple of quotes. The Florida Municipal Insurance Trust, they were very, very high. I think I reported that to you one time previously. The monthly premium for a single person ranges from $29.3268 to $3,264.
For
So
a single person?
for a single person.
Wow.
Yep.
That's almost like that quote.
Yeah, I really couldn't believe it. Anyway, I was contacted by Michael Christie, and he is a health insurance agent through a company called MBA. They specialize in working with municipalities and people like that. It is a requirement that you have, the town would have to pay half of the premium if we went with them. The rates are in here. They recommended that we go with the Blue Options PPO. And for an employee, the cost would be $628.67. There are health savings accounts available that would be lower. That's just the one that he recommended as being the best. It's called a pool insurance, that we're pooled with others in the same category that we are. Now, I do know that I don't need the insurance, Buster does not need the insurance. I'm not sure about Jeremiah and Mr. Jenkins. I haven't discussed it with them. But I just did the research so that I could report back to y'all, because you had brought it up before.
The 600 a month, what you mentioned about, was it 600 a month? Was that the total and we pay half of it?
Yes.
I guess one place to maybe start would be to even ask the employees,
If they would want to even
even
do
if they
it.
want, before we even spend
Well,
time.
before I brought it up, I just wanted to get your feel for it and tell you what the cost would be. But because I didn't want to bring it up if it was a cost of it.
I mean, if Buster don't need it, and you said, I know you don't, then, I
The
mean,
rest of these guys have only been here months.
yeah,
I mean,
so,
that's my only
Yeah.
concern, you know, I mean.
Well, we would have to put some stipulations on it.
Right, absolutely,
Yeah.
I mean,
I wouldn't, mind maybe revisiting this later, if y'all wouldn't be okay with that, maybe revisit
I
later.
mean,
so.
kind of talk with the guys and tell them those numbers and see if, I mean, if they.
It don't help if we pay our half, they don't pay their half, you know what I'm saying? So, I mean,
Yeah,
it's not
you
benefiting us
can't
none.
do it
Yeah.
if you don't.
Right,
So-
so,
And it would be an automatic draft out of their paycheck.
right. Talk to them and see what they say.
Okay.
And see if there's any, even any interest in it, then we'll bring it back up. If there is, Miss Connie, if it's not, don't worry about it, you know what I'm
I
saying?
mean, really, you can get it for free in Lake City right now.
Yeah,
You can.
right.
summer camp?
The whole family.
All right, Miss Connie, I guess we will go to E.
Yeah, proposed summer camp in Fort White. I've been contacted by Mario
Mario.
Kopic from the County Recreation Department, and he is requesting that we consider letting them have a summer camp down here for kids and have it in the community center. He wanted to form a board, and I've sent out letters asking people if they would be willing to serve on the board, but I haven't heard anything back.
Is Mario from Fort White, that Mario?
Yeah, he's
No.
no.
Lake City.
No, Mario's probably, what, in his late 50s, early 60s?
They like 60.
He's run that
60
football,
something.
he's run the football program up there, organization for years. Him and Michael Christie's dad.
Haywood
Yeah.
Christie.
Is he 63? I knew he's late 50s, early 60s, so yeah.
I know the county owns that building, but the first thing somebody's gonna say, are they paying to use that building?
Right.
I mean, we're the only community center that is governed by,
Us,
Us.
right.
and I'm telling you, there's a lot of upset people about our community center. I mean, I've heard a lot of horror stories about it. People are upset that we're renting it out twice a day and that they're required to clean it in order to get their deposit back, correct? But if I'm the first person to rent it and nobody comes and inspects my cleanup and I don't get my deposit back because second renter,
Right.
you know, leaves it nasty, there's we gotta rethink this. I mean, I think community center needs to be rethought.
I think it's been aggravating.
It is aggravating. That's one thing. I get a lot of phone calls about that thing, man. So I'm
Since I've
fine
been
with the
here-
summer camp.
Since I've been here, I think the double rental usually happens on Sundays.
That's right.
Because there's a church that has their church services in there in the mornings until about 1 o'clock. And then people want, and we tell them, somebody's gonna be in there until at least 1 o'clock. And we tell them up front that that's the case, and if they want to use it after that, then they're more than welcome to do that. Now, I believe we've only had 2 to 3 instances where it's been double rented on a Sunday.
Right. Now, is Mario and them talking about the summer camp? Are they talking about, because I know they're going to charge for the kids. They're going to
Oh, yeah.
charge.
Exactly.
So are they going to pay a fee for the building?
We haven't got that far. He wanted to form a board and have some of us on the board so that they could go through all.
Now, I'm fully understand if they come here
Rules
and do
and
a free
regulations,
summer
right.
camp and free, then that'd be
No,
totally
it's
different.
not free, trust me.
Well, that's what I'm saying. If
No.
it's not free on his end, then I don't
No.
think it should be free on our end.
It
either.
will not be
So-
free.
There you go.
Okay, so,
So, yep.
Yeah, so-
Tell Mr. Mario he can.
yeah, we'll let you deal with him. I know Mario really well, so if he needs to talk, but that's totally up to.
Would any of
we
you
need to-
be interested in serving on the board?
I'm already on it, so unfortunately, he called me and said, "Will you be
I
on it?"
got a
I said,
phone.
"Yes, I'll be on it." So
He asked me
yeah.
to, but I declined.
Okay.
What you do?
When he finds out he's got it rented, he won't want it anyway.
Is it?
Well, I'm busy too. Well, I need more stuff that don't pay no money.
You did communicate to Mario that, okay.
I told him I'd be on it if he needed somebody to be on it down
Yeah,
there.
so
So
he definitely want me, but,
I'm all about doing whatever it takes for the kids. But I mean, there again, like I said, but if he's going to charge,
I agree with you.
you know what I'm saying? Now,
I
if he's
agree
doing it
with
for
you.
free, then let's all do it for free. Let's see if we
If
can't
it
do
was
it for free.
then let the kids have a summer camp.
Yes,
I mean,
yes.
And what we may
Yes.
want to do is look at the period of time that he's requesting
Mm-hmm.
for the summer camp and maybe give him a flat rate for the whole camp
Right.
instead of a daily
Right.
thing.
And I told him we would need it because I know the weekends are our weekends. We rent out on the weekends. I
Yeah,
said,
he doesn't
so,
have the camp on the
and he's going to, and I told him that on Friday afternoon there would be somebody down there, because I've already discussed it with him on the phone, but I told him that he would have to have that thing clean on Friday afternoon himself, his staff, whatever, and then we'd be in on Friday afternoon to inspect it before somebody came in and rented it.
Correct.
So, yeah. So,
Correct.
okay.
The church that rents the community center, how long are they planning on every Sunday?
I have no idea. They haven't said
And they pay how much for a half a day or?
$200.
They paid the whole fee. Because remember, we had the churches came in that time, but they wanted discounts and they wanted but we never did do it. But this guy came in and he pays the full fee and don't say a word, so.
One time we discussed about the community center being used for long, like for churches and different things, that a lot of times the residents couldn't use the community center because it was tied up for like churches or Boy Scouts, whatever. And the community center we felt like was more important for the people to use. And that one time we were kind of against long-term rentals to businesses. And I think this church rental, and believe me, I don't want to say anything about church, but the community center is supposed to be for the people.
All right.
And if a church ties it up every Sunday, that's a lot of times when somebody wants to have a family reunion or a birthday party or something like that. So we have to be careful about business use of the community center when the residents can't use it.
How many times has somebody wanted it since
I was just fixing to say that, so.
2 to 3.
Two or three times?
And we tell them up front that there's a.
No, I mean, how many times is it not rented because they wanted it in the morning
Oh, never,
since the church started?
never.
I too said something about that myself, because I'm renting in January, and I think as a member of the board, if we're gonna collect $400 for that building for that one day, I think that's unfair.
200.
You're saying
But each
200,
person.
but each person is paying
Each person
200.
paying 200.
And by the person not getting in there till after 1 o'clock, and actually you told me at 2, but by us not getting in there until 2 o'clock, that's not a full day, and I mean, and we're paying this exact thing. The church is paid 200, and then the other person is paying 200. That's kind of, in my opinion.
Right. Maybe something we need to revisit and talk about it, you know, and see.
Absolutely,
So, yeah. So-
absolutely, because I mean, I agree with Ms. Fleming on that. I mean,
And it has been said to me also before now, and I don't have a problem, because like I said, I want to rent it because I want it for what I'm going to do it for, and I'm going to pay it, and I don't care. But I have heard other people mention it, that they did, well, you remember the girl came here, and she called me, and then I called you, and da-da-da-da-da. So, I mean, it is kind of unfair,
it's kind of like
seemingly.
the city's almost double dipping on Sundays. I mean, are there any other days that we allow double rentals?
So, any day.
Any day, really.
Any day.
But it hasn't happened.
But it happened.
I mean, that's one.
Now, I understand Mary's point,
Right.
but you can't give the first one a break, but, because you might not rent it that afternoon. A lot of times it's not rented that afternoon.
That's true too.
I mean, so you can't, I mean, you can give the second one a break, because they ain't got about half a day. But the first one, if they're renting it every week,
Well, unless you know it's like the church, they're only gonna do a half a day, and then somebody comes in
well,
behind.
we gotta rent it this afternoon, so we just gonna touch on pay today, but next week you gotta pay the full day.
I'll say, I'm pretty sure that's the only community center in Columbia County you pay rent on also.
Right,
Well,
yeah,
we're special.
But we have to maintain it too.
yeah.
Right.
That's the only reason we
And
do
we
it, is
don't have
because we.
The county
maintain it,
maintains
so-
all the rest of it.
Right,
Yeah.
and I mean, and they could easily maintain that, and they could, you know, do the rentals and all that on it. But, I mean, I'm just saying.
I don't know how Fort White ended up.
I
with
don't
the
either,
community
that's
center.
how we wound up with a community center in our control.
Somehow it got, I don't know, but it got.
Previous administration, leave it at that.
Yeah. So,
Cam, he knows.
you know, Mr. Williams?
Mr. Williams.
Well, Mr. Williams, you like to enlighten us, please, so the board to know?
Yeah, I mean, the town requested a community center, and they were unable to put together a governance board like the others have. So the town agreed at that time that they would become that governance board. And they, you know, I don't mean to be flip, but they really weren't good negotiators. So at the end of the day, rather than negotiating things like maintenance and et cetera, they just agreed to accept it. It's been that way ever since.
There you go.
And probably what they did, they took on the maintenance, they started figuring out it started costing the town a lot of money, they said, wait a second.
Well,
We gonna, somehow we gotta pass this buck
Like I
off
said, past
somewhere.
administration. So-
Yeah.
they actually thought they could make money.
Oh, really?
They thought they would make money doing that, because they would be able to keep the rental fee, and they thought they would keep more fees than they expended in terms of maintenance and.
Well, I've seen our past P&Ls, and I can tell you right now, it ain't worth the headaches that you hear about. I can promise you that. I mean, I know it's done better the past year because of the church has been in there continuously, but years past from that, it ain't worth the aggravation of it. That
Church
was-
is paying like 10 grand a year.
Yeah, and that's what I'm saying. It made up for the difference
Right,
of.
but
But before that church came in, it was almost a wash with what the cleaning was and the fees and all that. Man, it was crazy. I was like, man, y'all county can come back and take this thing back over if they wanted it. So
y'all, I mean, as far as I'm concerned, I mean, I'm fine with the camp, but, you know,
Yeah.
he's gonna apply like everybody else, and I'm fine with setting a flat fee for him. I mean,
Yeah.
if he's gonna have it for 5 days or whatever.
what we'll do is we'll find out all their details and we'll bring it
There
back
you-
before the board again. Let everybody talk about it. So cool.
Sounds good to me.
Good. All right, Miss Connie, you got anything else?
She had it, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, you got it. F. Yes. Report.
There is a report in front of you that
Yes,
just
ma'am.
summarizes what Public Works has done over the past 3 months. And we've added up the hours and also added up the different categories of work that's been performed.
And judging by these numbers, I'm gonna say our sheriff does not enforce littering laws.
No, he don't.
I mean, highway pickup, 40 hours, highway pickup, 48 hours, 48 hours, 55 hours. I mean,
It's crazy. I'm telling you
that's
right now.
ridiculous.
I see it out there all the time.
No, I see them all the
It's-
time.
Yeah,
I see the guys all the time. There's there's not a time in the day you can't go through this town and not see somebody on the gator picking up trash.
Well, the problem is you'll see them go by and clean it up, and then 5 minutes later you'll go back by and there'll be trash back out there. I'm like, are you kidding
I
me?
know.
Man, people just are just not very, I guess etiquette or whatever.
Earl Jenkins, December 21, 54 hours highway pickup.
Mm-hmm.
That's over a week of work.
Could we make?
Yeah,
just
picking up trash.
Talk to the sheriff about if it's possible that he could help stop some of the litter?
We have a flow ordinance that it addresses litter, but the problem is you have to know who did it to file a complaint
couldn't say
with
who.
code enforcement.
Out of all this trash they picking up side road, who has seen anybody throw anything out?
I don't.
And you won't never see it. You might
the word
catch
you can
something,
catch
you might
'em.
see something
Man,
twice a year.
We talking about
That's why you
man-
can't stop
In December of 2021, a man spent 54 hours.
it. That's what he said.
I'm just.
We do
But-
work orders and they turn in a report every day
That's what he said.
of the time
Okay.
that they spend.
That's what I'm getting at.
How many times he sitting somewhere?
I
We
don't
don't
know.
know that either.
I'm
I
not his
promise you
boss.
that goes on.
I'm not his boss, sir. I don't know.
That's
Well, Miss Connie tries to regulate the hours, cause she's here in the office, she's
I
not out there with them, so
understand
yeah.
that.
So she has them turning
she's
in work
here in
orders
his
and
office.
stuff. Oh, yeah, so there
I mean, you
could
can't-
possibly be.
Unless you follow them around, you don't know exactly what they're doing.
They-
I'm not talking bad about nobody
No,
that works for
I'm not singling
I'm just
anybody
saying.
out. No, I'm complaining about the hours it took.
Your business you got, you're in. How much of your guys gonna work if you don't, they don't never see you, except at the office?
What's that now? Say that again.
If they don't never see you except at the
employee.
office, do you think they gonna work like they supposed to every day?
Oh, heck no. No, absolutely not. No.
Anyway, so we don't know about this.
Alright, guys.
I see it.
I'll go with it.
I know they're working, cause I see them out there.
I'm saying that.
Yeah.
I'm not singling nobody out. I mean, I'm just.
No.
Well,
And I'm not
I
either.
can tell you that Jeremiah does try to stay on top of it.
Well, I know that, I
That
will.
little man works his butt off.
I'm gonna tell you, Jeremiah, son, he's a hustler.
I've never met
Yes.
him personally, but I'm through this town all day, every day, and I see him hustling.
He's a hustler. He's
he's a good asset.
the other two or
And
three
he
we got, they
tries
kinda
to-
in a slow motion.
He tries to keep a rein in on them.
Okay. Well,
And get them,
Yeah.
going where they need to be. In
But he goes
fact,
now.
so
Yeah, he
what you're
goes.
saying is Jeremiah may be our Mr. Conley's replacement when he decides to retire,
Yes.
because we'll need that.
So if you're doing all this riding through town all the time, you ought to be catching the litter.
Like you said, you can't never catch them. I'm looking for city employees. I'm just looking out for my constituents.
That come from our.
Are y'all done so we can go
Trying to
home?
come up with that
Merry Christmas.
54 hours is not enough time to catch a litter.
No, absolutely
You need to
not.
get
A
out
month?
more.
one.
I mean, sheriff's deputy could sit there for, but the thing about it is, if they see a sheriff's deputy, they ain't throwing nothing out.
And they hard workers too, 'cause I see them sitting right behind that guard that library,
Man,
because they sit right down my road where they
The
can see them
church?
deer and stuff.
they guard
They
that
park
church
behind the
right
library where they
there.
look down my road and see them there, so I see them all the time working.
I started to wonder if a couple of sheriff's deputies were not members of the church down here on 27.
Not our
I mean,
finest.
Their vehicles are.
That's
Not the
not-
firemen, the deputies.
All right, we gotta go. Come on, I love y'all. Listen, we need an adjournment. Somebody
Motion to adjourn?
Second?
Second.
All right, all in favor of adjournment, say aye. All right.